What's going on, everybody? I'm Innova Star Team Kat Mertsch. We're going to be doing it in the bag. My bag hasn't changed very much since I've been on tour. So here's what I'm going to be throwing for the rest of the 2024 season. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm going to be starting with my putters. I putt with a classic AVR. So you can tell these have seen a lot of work. I like them because I hyzer putt, so I feel like I can manipulate these and get them up in the right angle into the basket the way I like them to. But nope, they're what I putt with, and they're what I get lots of money with. I use my forehand and my backhand a lot for my upshots. So for my overstable backhand approach, I use a Star Con. This one specifically is a DDO Open Haley King edition. It's pretty gnarly. I can put a lot of oomph on it, but also it's going to stay on the angle that I really like it to stay on when I'm putting oomph on it. My next backhand approach disc is my Champion Glow AVR 3. I really like it. This one's a little newer. I used to have this pink one that was beat in, and when it gets beat in, it goes like a little straighter. But this one, however, it gives me that straight flight, but also a little bit more on the finish right now. So I like it a lot. I like it a lot for my backhand. Now, my next disc, his name's Rodney, is my Pro Rhino. I use him for backhand and forehand. For forehand, if I need to like finish more to the left, I'm going to use him. If I need like a straight flip up with a little bit of fade at the end on my backhand, then I will definitely pull my Rodney out. If it's windy, Rodney doesn't really matter. So let's start with my forehand approaches. I use my R Pro Pig. This is Bill. Bill's a good dude. So I use Bill in the woods a lot. I don't have to use him a lot when I need distance, but it's pretty reliable when I am using my sidearm in the woods. And if it's windy and I need a little bit more, I will use my Toro. This is Veronica Vaughn specifically. She's a baddie and she gets the job done. I really like it for my sidearms, and I've been using it for backhand more when I feel comfortable, but I like it for when I need a little bit more distance and more reliability. So Veronica Vaughn is one nice piece of ace. Man, there's so many special places around the U.S., and I could name off a lot, but I think the place that really sticks out lately is Finland. There's something really special in Finland that I haven't really put my finger on, but every time I go there, I start to feel like a better version of myself. And whether it might be the scenery or the, 20-hour daylight and that extra vitamin D kicking in, but Finland, man, it's just so beautiful. And I can't wait to go back. Gonna move on to the mids. I moved up from a Gator to a Cayman, specifically a Halo Cayman, the Evelina Chess.com Invitational winning one. I bought it because Evelina's a beast and I want to be like her when I grow up. But basically it's a step up from Veronica. It's a step up from the Toro. When it is windier, like so, I will use this instead of the Toro. But overall, it's just an overstable mid-range and it's going to get it done. It's going to do what I need it to do and have a reliable finish. We're going to go on to the Metal Flake Champion Glow J. I really like the J. It's more comfortable in my hand than a rock, so I made that switch over. The J provides a fade for me at the end, but also a consistent straight flight that I really, really enjoy, and I know I can rely on it. So, Metal Flake Champion Glow J. And this one is a Jonesboro Open Kat Mertsch one. This. It doesn't have a name written on it, but this is Karen. Karen is dope. It's the most stable Mako 3 I've ever thrown in my life. I don't really know why. It just does what it does. So I like to throw it usually when there's a tailwind, because you know how Mako 3s can be in like a headwind. But when there's a tailwind, I need it to glide and also finish out. Then I'll pull out Karen and she does the job. We're going to bust out the flippiest mid my bag. It is a Discmania MD3. So this is Bevert. Used to be Bert, but the U looked like a V, so it's Bevert. Bevert is when I need a straight, like flip up to flat and come around and then like the tiniest bit of fade. But when I'm throwing it on a backhand, it's mainly going to stay on the right side. So it's the flippiest mid in my bag. It's got a really great feel. I got this one in Europe as well, I think maybe 3 years ago, and it's been in my bag ever since. So probably not going to get that one out anytime soon. I don't think there's one memory, but there's definitely experiences that I hold very dear to myself. Usually when I can go to a hot springs with a lot of my friends, it's usually a very beautiful and precious memory because I just feel so grateful to be around all these legends and people that I watched growing up, you know. You can just step back out of that moment and look at the bigger picture of it all. And I'm just really grateful for those experiences, to be around all these people. We're going to start off with my fairways. Now, some of these are not technically fairway discs, but I don't really care what makes it a fairway or a distance driver. I picked it because it was perfect for the shot that I needed. And starting off with the first of them, the most overstable fairway in my bag is a Halo Firebird. I just put this one in my bag after losing the one I had, but this one it's earned its way. Really love it. I use it for super spike hyzers, backhand and forehand. It feels great on both grips. You're going to have a really reliable finish and flight with the Firebird every single time, so that's why it's in my bag. We're going to go off with my second most overstable is the Metal Flake Thunderbird. I really like Thunderbirds. I'm probably borderline religious about them. So when I need like something that's going to glide but not dump as quick as the Firebird, I'm going to pick the Thunderbird, especially this one. This is my goer. I really like her. She's a beauty. And I got, surprise, it's another Thunderbird, but this one's a Champion Glow Thunderbird. I like this one more for straighter shots than the other one because this one's going to hold it flatter and go a little bit straighter, but it's still going to have that finish that I'm looking for. So I really like it for that slot. It's good for all types of winds as well. So I can manipulate this one really well. We're moving on to now the Halo Hawkeye that's been in my bag for a while. This one specifically, I haven't thrown it in a long time, but I just put it back in my bag. It stayed in the MVP pond for like over a year. So you know the ones that sit in the water, they're pretty marinated. And this one's probably marinated to perfection. But I can usually hit this on a slight hyzer or flat, and it's just gonna go up straight and do what I need it to do and still have some fade at the end. So I really enjoy that aspect about it. So glad to have the Halo Hawkeye in my bag, my watermelon guy. Toodles. Sweetie pie. And we're coming up to my favorite disc in my bag that I literally just put in my bag last week. Probably got about 3 practice throws in right before the first round of Ledgestone. And it's actually my Tour Series Kat Mertsch Eye Sidewinder. I've never thrown a disc that I've loved immediately the way that I've thrown this one. I can literally make it do what I want. Not only is it going to flip up out of a hyzer to flat, but it's going to come out and fade just a little bit at the very end. So when you're trying to go far and you're trying to move a little bit left or you want to stay a little right, the Sidewinder is just beautiful, and that's what I use it for. I really enjoy this disc, and I just can't believe how wonderful it complements my bag and everything. So yeah. And if you're wanting one, you should probably go get one. I really suggest it. Anyone from any level, from beginner to professional, can throw this Sidewinder. So yeah, really grateful for this disc and its existence. We're going to finish up the fairway slot with I think it probably is the oldest disc in my bag. It's my Champion Sidewinder. And I don't know if you could see the plastic, but this one is just ridiculous. I can hit it on a hyzer and it's going to flip up to flat and give me a beautiful S finish. Finish mainly on is that right? Yeah, that's right. It's going to finish on the right more than the left. So when I'm trying to manipulate something and trying to get it to go exactly where I want it, where, you know how discs fade out and whatnot. This is going to do the job for me. So, and this is Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. This one has earned his name. That's sweet, baby. I love that Frisbee, man. I don't get to throw it enough. Probably go to school to be a veterinarian. That's like my later in life plan. But if I didn't pick disc golf early enough, I would have definitely stuck with that and tried to push towards that. I feel like I have a connection with animals, and I like to help, and I like to learn. And I don't mind getting my hands dirty if it's for the betterment of the animals. They're cool, man. I got 3 of them. I got 2 cats and a dog. It's just, yeah, in a 23-foot RV with a guy. So it's wicked. It's getting a little crowded. I think we're going to upgrade next year, but I love it. The big boys, the big guns, the backbones of everyone's bag, the distance drivers. We're going to start out with, once again, the most overstable disc. I use it for backhand and forehand. Tour Series, Kat Mertsch, Halo Excalibur, dyed by my homie, Jay. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Really enjoy it. I can throw it on a backhand or forehand. It's really good on a sidearm, but it's a little beefy for me, so I like it for the wind, and I like to manipulate it through the woods and stuff too. It's really good for that, and I enjoy it. It's definitely gonna come out in whatever flight and whatever angle you put it on. That's dope. All right, next disc is my Halo Destroyer. I love my Halo Destroyer for when it's windy and when I need something to glide, but also have fade. So I really enjoy just throwing this out in any type of wind, really, but mainly the headwind, so I can get some distance, but also stay in bounds and stay in play more often than not. It's a good one. My next one is a Star Destroyer. Surprise. This is Big Mac Daddy. Not a dime, just the name. He's earned it. This is my forehand disc. Whenever I need to throw a forehand, just whenever, this is my go-to disc. I really enjoy it. It's good on the backhand too. It's becoming to a point where I can rip this out and it's going to give me a little bit of S-turn and still fade. So this one's starting to get real beat in, and I enjoy this disc, and I've had it in my bag for a long time. Since I've started on tour, maybe like a year after, but been a very good, reliable disc. So I'm glad that I've had it and built and maintained a relationship with it for as long as I have. I'm grateful. Another disc that marinated at the bottom of the MVP pond. My Star Wraith. Whenever I'm trying to get some huge distance, but I still need it to come out, I'm going to pull out my Wraith. The way that it feels in my hand, just the plastic, I know that whenever I release it, it's just going to go exactly where I put it. So, yeah, that's a good one. That's your oldie. So when I'm trying to get max distance and throw it really hard, I'm pulling out the Metal Flake Katana. A katana is really fast, it's really good, and it fits in my hand really good with the way the rim is. The rim's a little wider than most discs I throw, but I can just like wing it out there, and it's going to do the thing and end up by the basket more often than not. And I'm also learning how to forehand it. My forehand's getting to a point where I can start using different discs, and I've noticed I can really mess with this one, and I can really hit it. This one's name is Launch 'Em. That's all it is. We're pulling up to one of my more favorite discs in my bag, especially in the distance drivers. James the Turn. I've thrown this thing a country mile, and I don't know how I haven't lost it yet, to be honest. I guess I never put it in a position to be lost. But yeah, it's a Star Turn. It's 175 grams, whatever. So I could hit it on a super hyzer line. It's going to pop up, and it is just going to float in the air and probably land in the basket for an ace. I really enjoy it. I can also throw it on rollers, which is kind of interesting because it's getting more flippier than it has in the past years. But I'm starting to hit it on rollers, and it'll just go like Sonic the Hedgehog, dude. Just out of this world. Pulling up to the last frizz. This is Jeffrey. Star Strike, he's a special boy. I love him to death. He's a 167 Star Strike at that. I can throw cut rollers with this thing. I can throw up and down rollers. I can throw shanks with it. I love this disc. I've had it for a very long time, and my homie, my bestie, Deanne, gave it to me, so it's got a lot of good energy on it. But yeah, basically, if it's like a straight tailwind, I'll just huck this baby out there, and it's just gonna fly farther than every drive I've probably ever thrown that day. So, yeah, Jeffrey, dude, he's got to eat him up. I really like cracking my whip. I got this whip. I really like cracking it. It helps my shoulder get loose. I kind of wish I brought it. I didn't know you were going to ask the question. Yeah, I crack the whip. I watch my cats outside a lot. And they're pretty ridiculous. They hunt. Both of them are really serious hunters, so I get little gifts brought back to me. It's kind of gross, but they love me. What can I say? Thank you to Innova. Thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity. I really enjoyed making this video. Thank you to all my fans who tuned in to watch. If you want to throw long shots with great accuracy, go pick yourself up some of the Frisbees that I throw. You can go get them at innovadisc.com. Thank you all so much again, and I will see y'all at the next tournament.